पब्लिक को मालूम है कौन आने वाला है, तेरे को नहीं मालूम?
Please step back, please.
Everyone make way.
Step back, please.
Love you. Love you. One picture with the fun, please. Here. Everybody pause for the gentleman. 1 second.
You for this side?
Love you.
Thank you. Baba with style.
Looking like a wow. Welcome to Jeddah. Ranveer, welcome to Jeddah.
Down, please. I can't see anymore.
Ranveer,
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you all. Thank you. Thank you for greeting me with such love and warmth. Wow.
I love you.
A reminder. This is why I do what I do. Thank you so much. It's wonderful meeting you all. I think we should get pictures at the end of the session. What do you think? And Nina, I got you. And that little baby who was singing Tum Kya Mile, definitely get a picture with the little baby as well. And the one, the lady in the Arsenal jersey as well.
Ranveer.
And the gentleman in the printed shirt as well. Where is he? There he is. There he is.
Ranveer.
I love it, bro. I love it.
Ranveer, I love you.
Looking like you are looking like a wow.
I love you. I love you.
Wow, look at all these glowing, smiling faces. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome to Jeddah.
To the Red Sea Film Festival. Raya ji,
They're gonna interview you, basically.
I didn't expect this energy in the room, but I'm all for it.
The first time I met you, I was moderating a panel with you and Priyanka Chopra for Gunday in Dubai. And it was the first time I had ever encountered that kind of energy from the fans. You guys are amazing. This interactive energy. They were literally asking you for hugs. And I remember it's like, I have, in all my career and the celebrities that I've met, I have never encountered that kind of love. So how much are they important to you? I know that they are. How much do they inform who you are as a celebrity and as an actor?
Life is a journey. You have ups and downs. But when you experience this, whatever the difficulties may be, this makes it feel all worth it. This is what I live for, man. Thank you for the love. Thank you. You are the wind beneath my wings. You are my driving force, my motivation to push and strive for more and better and to be great. So thank you for that. Thank you for the hugs and the kisses and the high fives. I am also famously or infamously a very tactile person. I'm a hugger and a kisser.
Very good to know.
Like Rocky Randhawa. Did you all see that movie?
Welcome to Jeddah, Ranveer.
It's a very fun one. And we'll come back to it in a minute. I just wanted to ask how it feels to come back here. You presented 83, which was such a special project for you at the closing of the Red Sea Film Festival 2 years ago. Is it special when you come back to places where you've had special moments?
That was the first edition of the Red Sea Film Festival. What a great honor, a grand and glorious occasion. The first showcasing of a film that is so close to my heart, 83. Did you see 83? That's pretty awesome. Personally, one of my favorites in my own filmography. Some of the films that are in the lighter vein, like Simba or Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani or 83. These are the films, or Band Baja Barat. These films you can see because they're not as intense as the other ones. You can see them again and again, and they live forever. And 83 is one such film, and the first time I saw it with a viewing audience was here at the Red Sea Film Festival in Jeddah. What a lovely, memorable evening. I'll never forget that evening because my wife was with me.
Yes, fabulous, as she always does.
I would have to concur. And Mr. Kabir Khan was such a fine gentleman and a fine filmmaker. And the man himself, the one I was playing on screen, the legendary sportsman, the captain of the 1983 World Cup squad, Mr. Kapil Dev in the flesh, walking the red carpet with me, introducing the film to the audience for the first time. I stayed for the entirety of the show, and at the end of it, to feel that emotion with the audience, to feel that euphoria, to see their reactions, to be within them, amongst them, and feel what they were feeling at the time, it's etched in my memory forever. In fact, ma'am, I was leaving I interacted with the fans post the screening, and when I left the hall and I was walking to the car, what I felt in that moment is something that I'll keep with me forever.
Yeah, this sensation, these moments.
And it's on camera. So I actually have a capture of myself in that moment. It was indeed very special.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the beginnings and your penchant for acting since you were little.
A penchant.
A penchant. This level, because basically, my daughter's 7. I know already that she's an actress. I mean, I think actors are
Really?
born Yes, I mean, it's just, it's just uncanny. Did you feel it from the start? Was it something that, first of all, you wanted to do, but you felt like you needed to do from when you were little?
You're absolutely right, ma'am. Some of the ones are just born to act, and you see it from as early an age as 2 and 3. They like to perform, they like to entertain people. It comes to them naturally. I was certainly one of those types of children. I wasn't the shy kind ever. I was, as my teachers would write in my report card, in the notes, he's very vivacious and gregarious as a personality, always entertaining the class, sometimes out of turn and out of line. So that's who I've always been. That's the way I am. As far back as I can remember, it was my grandma who gave me the first nudge towards becoming a performer. I guess perhaps she saw something in me, or it was just for her own amusement. But she'd always make me get up in the middle of a party and be like, why don't you dance for everybody or sing? So it was from that first nudge that I took that forward in my schooling. I was always inclined towards the performing arts throughout school, theatre and drama and whatnot. Continued that into college. And now I feel like I'm in a place in life where I'm very grateful to have found my ikigai, the Japanese philosophy. Find something that you love to do, that you're good at, and that can serve people. So acting is my calling, and I'm very grateful to the Almighty for giving me this opportunity to pursue my passion and entertain people.
You certainly have the talent for it. Did you have screen icons, growing up? Were there people that you watched that kind of informed it for you? That, the films that were escapism for you? That, the experience of cinema can be so personal and can kind of morph you.
Absolutely. There would be all my peers, all the other kids would be into other things like cricket and other kind of sports, and they'd have other areas of interest that would excite them. Nothing excited me more than movies. I would just be in front of I would not go to theaters at such an early age, but we'd get VCRs, and I'd just be watching the movies and being fascinated by them, completely mesmerized by this magical medium, storytelling. And I was very inspired by the larger-than-life heroes that we would see in Hindi cinema and Hollywood cinema. I think I started off, my very first screen idol was Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Yes, the man, the great man, the legend. Since I grew up in the 90s, so all the big 90s mainstream leading men were my heroes. You know, it started with Mr. Bachchan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, and then all the 90s heroes of Hindi cinema. Needless to say, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. And I grew up on that kind of, as you said, escapist fare. I think Hindi cinema had two very significant years. I think it was the year 2000 and then the year 2010 when the grammar and syntax of Hindi films started to change, where you, especially in 2010, started seeing a new wave of filmmakers finding genre-specific stories to tell. But traditionally, Hindi movies are multi-genre. You know, they are
Stretch the acting exercise and the dancing.
absolutely. You need all those skills. Hero है तो dance भी करना है, fight भी करना है, romance भी करना है, comedy भी करना है. So our films traditionally were multi-genre films. You know, you have romance, action, comedy, everything rolled into one. So those are the kind of films that I grew up on. The most surreal thing is to share screen space with the actors that you've grown up admiring, like Mr. Anil Kapoor and Mr. Govinda. I've had the privilege, the honor of sharing screen space with them, and Mr. Dharminder as recently as Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani. It's very, very surreal to be in the same frame as them. Mr. Ajay Devgan, Mr. Akshay Kumar. You know, these are the guys who I looked up to. You know, all the heroes of the 90s were such a large part of the reason I wanted to pursue becoming an actor in mainstream Hindi films. So yeah, I think even till this date, I find surreal. My day-to-day life is strewn with surreal moments. You know, where I can hardly believe that this is actually happening. It's like straight out of a dream.
What does that mean?
Wow. Means wow.
I mean wow. Do they become mentors in a way? You know, basically you watch people on screen, then you play with them, or it just becomes another day at the office when it happens that way?
Sorry?
Do people that you've admired and work with then in a movie become mentors? Do you start learning from them, or then it becomes just another day at the office because you know you're co-stars?
हिंदी में बोलूं किस भाषा में बोलूं आप बताएं.
Not my language. I didn't learn the languages as preparation.
Which languages are you proficient in, ma'am?
I speak French, Italian, Arabic, and English. But
देखो हिंदी तो नहीं आती राय जी को, मैं हिंदी में कैसे बोलूं? खैर, जब वन ऑन वन हम वार्तालाप करेंगे तो मिलेंगे, घुलेंगे और बात करेंगे हिंदी में. फिलहाल ओके, चंगा है, चलो पंजाबी भी हो जाए. सिंधीज आर इन द हाउस, चलो सिंधी भी हो जाए. क्या बात है, द यूनिवर्सल लैंग्वेज. सवाल क्या था मैम? What was the question? Can you repeat?
the question was about learning from people you've admired.
Absolutely, ma'am. It's not just them. It's so many, pretty much every one of my co-actors. There is something to learn from them, especially my seniors, the directors, every technician, everybody who has accumulated experiences and is generous enough to share them with you. There's so much to learn, and I have learned so much, and I continue to learn. In fact, I position myself as a student of cinema. When I started off, I used to be very cocky, very arrogant. You know, the josh of youth, junoon of youth, as they say. I used to think that I know everything. You know, I'm the best actor. There's nobody better than me. It's only after starting work and maturing and evolving, doing more work, interacting with more people, experiencing life, and navigating the career and the profession, you learn so much and you realize, wow, you don't know anything, because there is no limit to how much you can learn. The possibilities within this realm are infinite. So I keep myself open and to be able to receive lessons. So I learn from all my co-actors, and especially the seniors. And I'll be very honest with you, the greater learnings are not to do perhaps specifically with the craft of acting. I'm finding my own way for the most part within the craft, but it is how to navigate life, how to navigate fame, how to navigate ups and downs. I'm very grateful to all of my seniors who impart their experience and knowledge with me. I'm greatly privileged to be interacting with them. In fact, I was shooting with Mr. Ajay Devgan as recently as yesterday for Singam 3.
Something to look forward to.
Simba's coming back, as you can see. So
We want Dawn 3.
it's coming soon.
It's true, they keep asking you to come back in roles that they've loved you for.
I'm very excited to be presenting and reprising Simba, because for me it's ala re ala, jo deto tras त्याचा मी घेतो class. Yeah, that's about right. So we are presenting Singam 3, my reprising the role as Simba, and to be in to embody Simba, to play Simba is just a delight, because he's such a lovable character. He's such a rogue. So to be on your toes, jamming with Rohit Bhai, interacting with his stellar team. Spontaneous dialogues and improvisations and moments. I cannot tell you how much fun it's been to shoot Singam 3. Simba is that element in the cop verse who brings color, who brings lightness, and to create that has been an absolute delight. I can't wait for you guys to see Singam 3.
And also, I mean, you know, as recently as I'm going to call it Rocky and Ronnie, it's my English version. But that must have been a character that was a delight to play. I mean, there's no limits to as much fun you can have with it.
Oh yeah.
Lovingly narcissistic.
Yeah, it was like as Karan Johar says it himself, it's like the direct descendant of Pooh. But yeah, it was a challenge to take what was on paper, build on that, and create a wholesome character that can entertain, yet at the same time move people. So to find that was a journey with Karan, and we had a lot of support. I must point out the contribution of Shauna. She was the associate director on the film, who was instrumental in creating the character of Rocky in collaboration with me, and the help of the additional writers. I had a lot of help, and I'm very grateful to everybody who contributed. But when Rocky saw the kind of reception, I was really heartwarmed to see that, because it's very easy for a light-hearted, colorful person to kind of miss a beat on the depth aspect. But to have landed that part of the film where he realizes that he's got a lot to learn, to explore his sensitive side. So you have a character who's basically an entertainer, but to find the heart within that and land the humor aspect, yet the emotional aspect, that I was very, very pleased to see the way Rocky was received. One of my most loved characters. I'm so happy, with the way people engage with Rocky. The little Rockyisms that have come into, colloquial use. That's when you know a character is really loved. I go here and there when I interact with people. They're like, why on this side? And, it's Rocky Randhawa this side. Or it's...
Can you repeat?
As you can...
They all know it by heart.
There you go. Thank you for that. It is one of the most special experiences to have watched Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani with the paid audience. You know, when the film released, I would finish work at about 10 o'clock at night usually, and I would just scurry away to the nearest theater and watch the film with the audience, because just to see the way the audience reacts to a film like Rocky or Rani, where they're laughing, crying, it's so fulfilling to witness that. And there's a lot to learn as well. Different sets of audiences react to different beats of the film. Every screening is a different experience. I learned a lot from that, but I must point out one moment that'll stay in my heart forever. So it was an auditorium like this, and
I have to ask, do you do it incognito? Do they
Yes.
know you're here?
No,
Okay,
I stand.
yeah, it's okay.
I stand in the dark corner and watch their faces while they're watching the film. I remember one of the screenings, and this is like in the second week of release, Tuesday night, 11 o'clock show, and there was still so many people in the hall. That was firstly lovely to see. You know that the film, you know, had legs, and so many people watched it in its theatrical exhibition. I was watching from the side, and there was a young lady, and ostensibly her mama, they were sitting together, a mother and a daughter, watching the film. And when the emotional scenes were happening in the second half, I was watching them, and I was watching them for a while. When those scenes came around, both of them sitting next to each other had tears streaming down from their face, and the mama, she kind of sniffled. You know how when you cry, like,
Yeah.
so the daughter heard that, and she turned to her and she was like, she's crying, and the daughter was crying as well. And she wiped her tears and she held her hand, and they continued watching the film. I was like, man, this is it. This is it. There can be nothing greater than this.
Maybe she had a long lost glove, you know? She kind of identified with the grandma.
But see the power of cinema there, where in a relationship as special and close, a bond as close as a mother and a daughter, what can be closer than that? To create a bond, a moment, a memory between the two of them, that's very, very special. That's very special.
So you get attached to your characters because you do very different ones. You're famous for being so dedicated to your craft, and you can do a dramatic role, and then you can go do a Rocky role, etc., and go back. Do you see them all as your own special person that you become every time?
That's a constant endeavor for me, because acting is actually a journey of self-exploration. I want to try different things and try to see if I can be efficient or excellent across genres. Even when I started out, I always had this in my mind that I want to do everything from romance to comedy to action to drama, and I want to test myself in all of these genres. For me, growing up, when I see other actors who inspire me, they are invariably the ones who have throughout their career showcased a chameleon-like quality, where you see two pieces of work featuring the same artist and you can hardly believe it's the same person. So to have that, to showcase that kind of versatility in my repertoire has been a conscious endeavor. And within that, when you get into the character, to be, if I watch the movie back and I can't see a trace of myself, that's a victory for me.
Yes, absolutely.
And
it has someone else.
Yes, it has happened now and then, and I'm very proud of those personal moments when I'm engaging with the film, watching it myself after many years, and I watch it and I can't spot myself. That feels wonderful. I give myself a pat on the back in those moments.
Yeah, no, it's difficult to completely immerse yourself into someone else.
That's the goal.
Has it happened to you to be, so method that you kind of became someone else and it kind of affected the rest of your day?
Yeah, in the early days, especially, and till a few years ago, I hadn't developed the mechanism to let go of the character or the emotion of the day. But as you grow up and as you accumulate different tools as an actor, different skills, as an actor, you develop that ability to compartmentalize. It's also something I've learned from my wife. She's a very fine artist herself, and there's a lot to learn from her as well. And she's the one who I picked this up from. She doesn't bring the work home, and that's something I've cultivated by observing her. So I'm very grateful to her for. She really helps me in my life, but also in my work. There are things that I've learned from her that have really helped me in my work. So to have a partner like that, a life partner like that, is hugely advantageous. She understands the challenges, the difficulties. She has tools and skills that you can learn from, and vice versa, of course. But I'm very lucky that I have a consummate artist as a life partner who I can lean on to learn more.
You guys are couple goals, as we call them.
Such a cute couple.
Yes, you can applaud for Ranveer and Deepika. Let's talk about the influence your favorite directors have had on you, the likes of Sanjay Leela, Bhansali. How much do you feel they've influenced your career?
I think since you pointed out Mr. Bhansali specifically, he was and is perhaps one of the greatest creative influences in my life and in my craft. Before I worked with him, I used to have these constructs in my mind about what I thought it means to be an actor, what entails, what the craft entails, what it, I thought I knew. But it's after working with him that I realized that, wow, the possibilities within the realm of creativity are infinite. There are no rules. There's no right and wrong way to do anything. When you're not thinking and you're operating out of feeling and instinct, that's when you're really creating something that is closest to a truthful moment. I was a different kind of actor and person before I worked with him, and a completely different kind of actor and person after I worked with him. It's almost as if he deconstructed me. He broke me down and made me formless, or taught me that formless is the way to be as a performer.
The
to
blank
be like,
canvas.
Yeah, to be like water, so that you're able to take the shape of any vessel. To be formless, to be like clay, that can be molded, and that there's not too much calculation that goes into creating a truthful moment. There was, and he really, as you say, expanded my bandwidth as an actor, and it's like he made me go wider and deeper in the exploration of myself as a performer.
Which movies do you feel were turning points in your career? The ones that, kind of propelled you, not only as a celebrity, but also as an award-winning actor. You have won so many awards for your craft.
There have been several, ma'am. I think starting with Band Baja Barat, it was, the movie came out and I experienced more or less overnight stardom. It hit me like a truck. I was just not expecting going from obscurity on a Friday to becoming essentially,
to not be able to walk in the streets, basically.
I was famous by Monday, and it was literally in a matter of like 72 hours, my life had completely changed. Thank you. On the weekend of Band Baja Barat's release, so that was a turning point in my whole life. So I must point that out. 2013 was a great year. Lutera, and a highly critically acclaimed piece of work, and Ram Leela came on the back of each other, and that was a great big turning point for me, because up until then, there was a question mark on my repertoire. he can do these loud and colorful parts, but can he really
The
the more
pathos
intense
kind of,
and the kind of role I performed in Lutera. So I was able to showcase a different aspect of my repertoire in an early stage of my career, and people really took note of me as a performer after that film. Ram Leela, of course, where I met my wife, my first collaboration with Mr. Bhansali. Ram Leela was my first critical and commercial breakthrough success, so certainly a turning point. And to have them come on the back of each other, such vastly different characters, and such vastly different pitches of performance. It was 2013 was certainly a turning point. Then I think 2015, kind of the same thing happened. Dil Dhadakne Do and Bajirao Mastani came out in the same year. Thank you. It was my first collaboration with Zoya in an ensemble family dramedy, and it was another kind of performance, very very nuanced, quieter. But then to have a film like Bajirao Mastani come on the back of it, that really went a long way in showcasing the versatility. And I think it was Bajirao Mastani that was the biggest turning point. That movie is, it's now that a few years have passed, I can safely say that it is one for the ages. There was so much skepticism that at such an early age to be entrusted with such a giant responsibility, a grand magnum opus, mounted by the premier filmmaker of the country, Mr. Sanjay Leela Bhansali. Such a big undertaking, such a mammoth undertaking. But when the film was received and got the kind of love and success that it saw, that was a major turning point. And then I think Padmavat played negative shades for the first time, and then Simba, my first mainstream masala mass film, as they say. The first time I attempted that with Mr. Rohit Shetty, and then Gully Boy, a film that went on to garner such love, one of those ones that lives on. They came very close to each other, it's in 2018 and 19 on the back of each other. It was that little purple patch that was another great big turning point, and you can feel it. Things happen with you and around you that are testament to the fact that, okay, now you have most certainly as an artist, or as you say, as a star or celebrity, who's definitely leveled up. So I think these were some of the significant ones.
Is this what allowed you? Because in the last 5 years, it does feel like you took control completely of what you want to do. That you know exactly, what your next move should be, what your next film, what you should be involved in. Do you feel that with the maturity of an actor, you can know and take control? And how important is that control?
I have to say, I'm still learning, still trying to figure what might connect with an audience. I can't say that all my decisions have landed correctly, especially in the past 5 years, where we've seen such a great seismic tectonic shift in the entertainment landscape across the world. The advent of streaming,
and social media,
the preeminence of the prevalence of nature of social media in our lives now. So things have changed drastically for the entire human race in the past 5 years, most certainly in the realm of entertainment. So coming out of a life-changing period for all of us, the pandemic, things have changed, and what one has learned from that period is what is being applied and imbibed now. You won't always get it right, but as I say in life, there are no mistakes in life. There are only lessons. As long as you learn from it and are able to improve your decisions, that's more important.
How do you feel, to continue what you said, that the Bollywood industry and the Indian film industry has changed recently, especially since you've been famous?
Yes.
The content of it has changed, the core of it as well.
I think I've been working for about 12, 13 years. And yes, I have observed changes. And it has to do with the advent of social media, most certainly. It's changed the meaning of celebrity life. And it's changing lives. It's like everybody can be a content creator now. Everybody is
Everybody
like a
can be a
performer.
star.
Everybody is on TikTok and what have you, and everybody is a performer. So there's that aspect that's coming to our lives now, and I think the biggest change that I've seen in the past decade is the advent of streaming and what it's done to the entertainment landscape. Now I feel like the binary between what belongs in the theaters, what is meant or more suited for theatrical exhibition, versus the kind of content that you can consume at home. That binary's become very, very clear now. I think it is where the Hollywood film industry already experienced that kind of stretching of the binary maybe a decade ago. And back home in India, that's almost happened overnight after the pandemic. So now films that earlier would find an audience in the theaters, I don't think audiences are going to the theaters for that experience any longer, because they'd much rather experience it at home. In the theaters belongs your great big spectacle, audio, visual, large canvas, the kind of experience that warrants a giant screen. So I feel like that's been the biggest change, and it affects the realm of entertainment as a whole. So being a champion of cinema, my focus now is to ensure that I attach myself to that experience, because for me, this experience is
This one.
Yes, this one.
That's it.
This experience is the greatest experience. This is why I came into this line of work, to have community viewing, for us to sit together, laugh together, cry together, feel something together, and forge a bond between ourselves from having done that, to sit together as a community in this magical dark chamber where we project light and sound and tell stories. It's the most magical thing. Like I mentioned earlier, something I experienced in Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani, to see the way the audience was connecting and what they took away from that. If you can make people laugh, I feel like life is a journey, and it's a difficult one. And I believe in the philosophy of the Kalyug. I feel where humanity is in one of its darkest phases, and everybody is suffering. Everybody has a battle that they're fighting that you won't know, but best believe they are. So life is a journey that is challenging, that is difficult. Suffering is a core part of the experience of life. So as an entertainer, if I can alleviate the painful aspect of the journey, make you laugh, make you feel light, or move you, make you cry and make you feel light, from having had a good cry. You feel so light after you've cried, to evoke an emotion out of the audience and give them something, share something with them, make them feel something, and maybe put a smile on their face. Just as हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, दिल का बोझ हल्का करो लोगों का, तो दुआएं कमाओगे. तो यही हमारा काम है जी.
Yeah. We're gonna do that. Just one more question about a secret ambition that you may have in your career.
A secret ambition.
Yes.
That's a good one. A secret ambition. A secret ambition. Boli na Sindhi.
I meant
Sindhi lady boli na.
as an acting project, mostly.
I think, ma'am, there are a lot of filmmakers and artists that I hope that at some point I have the opportunity to collaborate with. Their work is something that I greatly admire.
In Hollywood or in India or both?
Well, we have a very rich talent pool in our country.
Oh,
There
I
are a lot of
completely agree.
filmmakers that I would love to collaborate with at home and in Hollywood as well. So I wish those are some of the boxes that I wish to tick. I hope I get to work with this person, or I hope I get to work with that person. Would be so interesting because you see their work and
You feel a connection.
yeah, you feel so excited and you're like, man, if I had the opportunity to be in something like that, wow, it would be so amazing. So some filmmakers, technicians and artists whose work I greatly admire, to collaborate with them is a secret ambition that I have.
It's out in the universe now, so hopefully it will happen.
Manifesting.
Okay, I'm going to open to the public because I really want to ask you questions. I can't really see.
बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं?
Yes.
Ranveer,
जी.
can you say Faryal?
Hi Faryal. Can I sing Faryal? Faryal. ये मेरा चांस पे डांस, हाथ में माइक, स्टेज पे खड़े तो गाना गाओ, कौन क्या बोलेगा?
I think because we don't have the light, it's going to be very difficult to prioritize.
We can light up the house. आप ऑन कर दो सर, लाइट ऑन कर दो.
I have a question. Can I come there and
Faryal.
No, please, because
Faryal?
if someone comes, everybody's
Okay.
going to come. Let's please leave it a little
Alright,
bit.
so-
And we'll do 4 questions, that's it.
you're a star, and it's not just about the acting.
Faryal. Hi Faryal. Where's Faryal? Now that the lights are on. Hi Faryal.
All right. Ranveer, when we talk about you, you're of course a star, but it's not just about the acting prowess. It is about the emotional connect that you have with your audience. You make them cry, you make them, sort of also surprise them, with your performances. How about romancing with a fan with a very emotional dialogue or maybe an emotional song?
There's a baby here whose favorite song is Tum Kya Mile.
Yes?
There she is. Hi, bache. Hi, Gugu. This one is for you. And for you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Don't mind, मैं बहुत बेसुरा हूँ, लेकिन फिर भी बेशर्म होके गाऊंगा. Of course, nobody can sing like the great Arijit Singh, but here goes. तुम क्या मिले, हम ना रहे हम, तुम क्या मिले, जैसे मेरे दिल में खिले फागुन के मौसम, तुम क्या मिले. Sing it.
तुम क्या मिले. Okay, I'm like,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Okay, you guys, Ranveer doesn't have time for all of it, but he will have time for some pictures for you
Okay.
Okay.
in an orderly fashion.
Why not?
And I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
For
This
this
was
beautiful
fantastic.
conversation.
Thank you so
very
much.
Simple as that. Gentlemen, Vinayak and I do this often. So we just take his lead and we make sure everybody gets a picture. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. No problem. Right. Ali, from the, wait a second. From that hole, take this group, this group here first. Wait.
Okay. 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 Wait. Okay. Wait.
هيا عيال قدموا.
Ranveer, come soon! Ranveer, come soon!